Now we are from Group 2 and we want to talk about the coral bleaching.
Coral is a jelly-like organism that belongs to Scleractinian, which is a true tiny coral. Thousands of polyps that living in a colony forms a coral reef. Coral use polyps to catch food such as zooplankton, and it has a symbiotic relationship with zooxanthellae, which is zooxanthellae provided 90% of organic carbon product to the corals.
So how the coral bleaching occur? The coral bleaching occur when the coral expel zooxanthellae from their tissue. And you can see that the coral will become bleached or white in color. It is because the zooxanthellae provide 90% of energy requirement to the corals. If the coral does not recover within weeks, this coral bleaching also happens because of stress that caused by change in salinity, temperature, sedimentation, exposure to herbicides, pollution, and also natural disasters. But the most important factor is the increasing of sea temperature for a prolonged period, often combined with increased solar radiation that link to global climate change and El Nino events. This algae will access the sunlight and forms a radical oxygen that harms the coral, and it causes the zooxanthellae expel from their tissues as a safety measure from the corals. The study of coral bleaching are still limited, and the first recorded of mass bleaching are on 1998 at Great Barrier Reef, which is the 70% inshore corals are bleached, and only 5% recover with mortality. It also happened in Malaysia on 2010 at Pulau Perhentian, Redang, Tenggol, and Pulau Tioman. Increasing trend of global average temperature by NASA 2020. This will surely cause more frequent bleaching events in the future. Mass bleaching are not only killing our coral reef, and it also affected our socio-economics that impacts to the fisheries, tourism, and ecosystem services like shoreline protection, ecological composition, and loss of our biological diversity. The study conducted estimate that the government lost RM 150 million in diving sector due to coral bleaching events in 2010.
So far, the government has done a practical way to conserve coral reef ecosystem by employing marine protected areas and water quality management. But this alone appears currently insufficient to offset climate change. Reducing climate gas emissions is the core solution to stem catastrophic large-scale coral loss. Optimistically, these solutions will limit further warming, heat wave frequency, and global mean sea surface temperature. Besides, it can lower the risk from catastrophic heat wave events as well as other climatic and environmental factors that regulate heat stress sensitivity and bleaching outcomes. However, the effectiveness of coral bleaching mitigation rests on rapid assimilation of our knowledge on coral bleaching into more integrated frameworks. This can be done by understanding mechanistic biological network underpinning bleaching severity, environmental interactions that regulate network bleaching at ecosystem scale, and operationalizing management in the framework of bleaching-dependent network, then translate it into an operational system that informs and tests bleaching outcomes. By that, we can improve the capacity to monitor reef environment condition and apply this data to more advanced network models to assess the mechanisms that trigger bleaching event on complex ecological level. But this still needs further study to fully understand what other factors that can cause bleaching aside from what told before. By improving coral resilience, we can make coral naturally endure and manage this ecosystem towards the next rising temperature. Further, we need to do more research and take better steps to improve our activity that will not impact the ecosystem.
Solution for coral bleaching. When it comes to solution, there is no permanent solution to coral bleaching as it is a natural phenomenon, but we can take measures to reduce human pressure on coral bleaching, which makes the condition of bleaching worsen and slow to recover. There is several solutions can be carried out by the government. Firstly, it is important to develop a plan to respond against coral bleaching. This plan has to be done for before, during, and after bleaching happens. To start with, it is good to predict mass coral bleaching occurrence based on comparison of previous mass coral bleaching and temperature to the forecast and observe climatic condition and sea temperature. This prediction helps us to alert stakeholders, government, and also people on the same time and risk of mass coral bleaching. Secondly, we need to assess the severity of coral bleaching and act accordingly by making coral bleaching management where survey by expert, which is Reef Check Malaysia, need to be done, and strict rules should be applied to people so that they would not put more pressure on corals for commercial or recreational purpose. Thirdly, after mass coral bleaching, it is important to leave the habitat undisturbed as the ecosystem need time to recover. So, measures such as closing of reef habitat for tourism and fishing could help to reduce the stress on corals and could recover in faster rate. This measure could help to reduce the severity of coral bleaching and time to recover. But if we really want to solve the coral bleaching problem, we must address the climate change, which means global, comprehensive and immediate action to reduce emission should be taken.
The bottom of the line is that we as humans must be aware and concerned about coral bleaching. Although we don't directly cause the coral to bleach, we significantly alter the changes of the environment where coral could not tolerate, hence causing bleaching. We must play our part on reducing climate change that proved to cause devastating impact on our lives, such as drought, disease, and also changes of the ecosystem. Coral reef ecosystem is vital for humans since it plays many important ecological services and need to be managed better to preserve it for a long-lasting time. Thank you.